That breaking news from Moreno Valley tonight, where there is some good news in the fight against that massive Springs fire. Crews have been able to make great progress in just the past couple of hours, and it looks like most of the flames are out. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams. We've been on this fire for over 6 hours today, covering it from both the air and the ground. Firefighters seem to be getting the upper hand, as I said, but it was a much different story earlier today. You can see the hillsides and how close these flames burned to homes there. Firefighters, of course, will be out there for most of the evening, making sure they put out all the hot spots. And this one in Moreno Valley isn't the only fire burning today in our area. We've also been covering the Crown Fire in Acton as well. We'll have more on that in just a couple of minutes. But first, we have live team coverage on the fire in Moreno Valley. David Bigger is tracking the conditions, and Christian Caceres with the latest on the conditions out there right now. Christian.
Well, Colleen, as you mentioned, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of relief here from this fire because take a look here behind me. We're starting to see some blue skies and less smoke. Now, this area here, this community is still under an evacuation order, but I can tell you that within the past hour, we have seen several hot spots here behind these homes on Championship Drive, even after air crews made several fire retardant drops. Now, one of these homes that you see here on screen belongs to Sandra Arias. Now, she's been living here for over 15 years. We talked to you about an hour ago. Talk to me a little bit about what's this been like for you and your family just within the past hour. Things have definitely changed.
Definitely much better, yeah, but the whole day's been terrifying, scared, certainly on what's going to happen. Do we leave? Do we stay? You know, packing, and it's just been a pretty horrible day, actually.
Now, when we talked to you about an hour ago, you guys were in the backyard with the hose, just trying to water everything down. What have you learned from all this? I mean, just seeing this firsthand here.
Always be prepared. You just never know, especially where we live up here in the hill in dry areas. Definitely an issue with the dry area, you know, for the golf course. It kind of take care of it ourselves. If it can be done, it's our home. We got to protect it.
And then you were telling me also your cars, I see all of your cars outside of your home. You say all of them have already been packed.
Yes.
You have already been prepared,
yes.
But you're still here.
Yes.
Why did you decide to stay?
I whatever I could do, last hope, whatever we could do to take care of it. And especially, you know, you leave your home, you just don't know what could happen too. So, but we're ready. I mean, it's first ourselves, our grandkids. My son-in-law already took a truckload, and one grandson, you know, it's for safety first, but we definitely want to take care of it. See what we could do. A lot of other renters here, they love, but it's our home.
Yeah, and I also want to show you guys again just the scene here, completely different, Colleen, from the last hour that we've been out here. But again, CAL FIRE here has said that they put a lot of resources on this fire, more than 260 firefighters on the ground and on the air. We have seen firefighters from Hemet, from Morongo, from Pachanga. And I should also mention that there's a smoke advisory here in effect all the way through Riverside, Yorupa Valley, Menifee, and Lake Elsinore. Fire officials asking the public to stay indoors if possible as they continue to get the upper hand on the situation. But again, the good news here, Colleen, is that there is a lot of progress, some good news here, at least in this neighborhood here. I mean, it's still under an evacuation order, but we haven't seen those hot spots that we saw in the last hour. That's the very latest from Moreno Valley. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Christian, the best advice we hear all the time is be prepared. Thank you for that. We're going to go to meteorologist David Bigger right now, who's tracking some of the conditions. It was windy out there. We had Santa Ana's today. This was really a wind-driven fire.
Absolutely a wind-driven fire. We sort of had two of the three elements of the fire triangle today. We had the weather, we had the topography. We were lucky that the fuel moistures weren't end of summer dry, but it was still very dry, which allowed the fire to grow very quickly. So this fire grew from just to the north of Mystic Lake out toward Lake Paris. So you have both these locations here. You can see some of the observations around the area, all reporting very low humidity, only about 10% around that point. You can see March Air Reserve Base about 7%. Winds are, though, much lighter than we were dealing with earlier. And I think that as we get into tomorrow, we'll see the winds come back a bit, but not as strong as we had for today. Christian was mentioning some of the smoke advisories for the area. Here's why. This is actually a camera at Lake Paris. Rancho Verde High School is right in this area here. I'm going to put it into motion over the past couple of hours. You can see how all the smoke has just been blowing away from the fire down toward the south of the fire. So obviously, if you smell any smoke, close windows and doors. And then if you are going to be venturing out, and again, you've got some of the poor air quality, make sure you put an N95 mask filter out those particulates. Here's some of the gusts that we're looking at right now across the region. About 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts for the most part. Santa Clarita a little bit stronger than that. That's all lighter than we had earlier today. But tomorrow we'll still have some more wind. It'll stay warm as we go through the weekend. But then next week we've got a gradual cool down and another chance of rain to talk about. I've got details on that in a few minutes. Back to you.
Much needed rain, David. Thank you. Firefighters also making some progress on the Crown Fire in Acton. We're told this one is about 25% contained, with the forward progress being stopped. At least 280 acres burned out there. This is in the area of Crown Valley and Soledad Canyon Road. Evacuation orders and warnings are still in effect in some areas. No one injured out here, and no homes or buildings have been destroyed. We, of course, will be following these fires until they are out. We'll bring you updates on air, and we'll also bring you the latest information on our NBCLA app, including the wind conditions in your first alert forecast, and we'll have a live report coming up tonight at 11.